My name is Elisa Matthews and I am here to show you how to increase the interactivity of your curriculum by incorporating hide and reveal activities into your lessons using your smartboard and your notebook software. The first thing that I'm going to do right now is to exit my full screen mode just for ease of presenting. I have access then to my tool panel and my action panels and my side tabs. So this will make it easier for us to discuss these activities. We'll be talking about 3 different techniques that you can use to hide and reveal information or answers to questions on your smartboard. The first one is the move and reveal, the second one is the order and reveal, and the third one is the erase and reveal. When you're moving something to reveal an answer or information, you're using a shape or an object to block information. That's all you're doing. So if I move this rectangle here, I can see the answer to my question, where is Tutankhamun's tomb, Valley of the Kings? Simply by moving the red rectangle. When we utilize order and reveal, we're actually using layers and colors to hide and reveal that information. So our text and our background are the same color, and we would use an object or a shape that is contrasting in between those 2 layers to reveal the information. The Valley of the Kings. Sometimes it's hard to see or to remember where that answer to the question or the information is, and you can always use a dotted shape if you want to help students know where they're supposed to move your object, your contrasting object, or your shape. When we use erase to reveal, we're simply using digital ink to cover up the information, and then when it's time to reveal the answer or the content, we can use the eraser to erase that information, or our fist here if we have the eraser off the tray, and that's how we would do an erase to reveal. I will show you how to create each one of these activities now. With our move to reveal, I'm going to write the answer to my question using my pen. So I'll begin that way. I'll use the pen here from the tray and write the answer. Now I can leave it that way if I want to, but if I am worried that people won't be able to recognize my writing or read my penmanship, I can select that and use my pull-down menu to have Notebook recognize my writing. So it's kind of big, so we'll scale it down, move the answer over. I want my K to be capitalized there, so I can select inside there and click my keyboard button here on the tray and use my Notebook keyboard to capitalize Kings. Once I've done that, I can lock my answer into place using my pull-down menu. And then I will use the shape tool from my tool panel here. It's the one with the orange square and the blue circle behind it. I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm going to use red for my fill color and my line color. You can use any color you want to make my rectangle. Now that I've done that, I'm able to move that rectangle, that object there, to reveal the answer to the information underneath. Very simple. For the next one, our order and reveal, I'm going to begin that much the same way. I'm going to use my pen from the tray and write the answer. Again, I'm going to ask Notebook to recognize my writing. I'll scale it down, move it over a little bit. I'm going to capitalize my K, again, using my Notebook keyboard. And then I want to change the color of my text to white so that it matches the background. Remember, I'm trying to hide this from view. So I need to select that text, and I'm going to go up here to my tool panel and use white. I'm also going to use my pull-down menu here to lock my text into place so that students can't move that around as they're interacting with my lesson. It'll stay right there. And now I will use the shape tool again. I'm going to use a rectangle, red fill, and red line, and create my rectangle. At this point, you can't see the answer to my question there because it is underneath my shape. I need to move my shape behind the text, or in between the text and the background, for this technique to work. So I am going to select my rectangle and use the pull-down menu to change the order of my layers here and send my red rectangle backward. And now I can move that rectangle up to reveal the answer or the information there. With the erase to reveal, I'm going to again start much the same way. I'm going to use my pen and write the answer. Select it and ask Notebook to recognize my writing. I will scale the font size down there. There's my answer. I need to capitalize my K again. So I'm going to use the Notebook keyboard. I'm going to lock this into place so that it can't be moved. And then I'm going to select my pen tool from up in my tool panel. I'm going to use white digital ink. And I'm also going to increase the thickness of my line here so that it doesn't take me as long to cover up my answer and my information. And I'm going to go ahead and cover that up with the digital ink. Now when my students are ready to answer this question, they can use the eraser to reveal the answer. Or their fist, like so, if the eraser is off the tray. And that is how you create erase to reveal. I'm going to show you now how I would incorporate one of these hide to reveal activities within the context of my own curriculum. I am an art teacher, and so a lesson that we might be doing on any given day might be to identify the artists of particular paintings. So I chose 2 paintings that are in the Notebook gallery. It's over here in my side tab. It looks like a picture-in-picture frame. I did a search for art-related objects in that gallery and found these 2 paintings and put them on this Notebook page. Now I'm going to do a search in the gallery for a magnifying glass. I found 3. I'm going to pick one of those and drag it over onto my Notebook page. Once I have the magnifying glass there, I'm going to use the pen tool up here in my tool panel. And I'm going to use a normal line thickness, a smaller line thickness here. And I'm going to use black. I could also use the pen from the tray to do this, right? I use the pen from the tray. And I'm going to trace around the lens here of the magnifying glass. And I'll put the pen back down in the tray. I can move my magnifying glass at this point, select that, and ask Notebook to recognize my shape, which is a circle. I'm then going to go back up into my tool panel and I'm going to change I'm going to use the fill tool here and select a different color. I have a light blue selected here. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to fill my circle with that light blue color. I'm going to move my magnifying glass back. And it doesn't quite match up. If I had a little more time, I could perfect my circle there, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to actually slide my marquee over like this so I can select all of those so that I can group them together so that I'll be able to move them around the Notebook page together. So I'm going to group these, and there's my magnifying glass. So this is the object that is going to be in between my text and my background. This is what's going to make us possible to see the answers revealed. Okay? At this point, I'm going to take my pen from the tray, and I'm going to write in the answers here, or these artists' names. And I'm going to select them and ask Notebook to recognize what I've written. I'll scale it down a little bit. I am going to change the color of the text to white so that it's hidden. And then I'm going to lock that into place. Here I will ask Notebook to recognize what I've written. Scale it down just a little bit. Again, I want that text to be white, so I'm going to select it and change the text color up at the top here in the panel to white. And then I'm going to lock this into place so that it cannot be moved. And now as my students are working through this activity, they'll be able to use the magnifying glass to reveal the answer, or to reveal the names of the artists. Because I created my magnifying glass before I put the text down, it's all in the right order for this to happen. It is in between my text and the background. Why would you want to create a hide and reveal activity or hide information before talking about it with your students? There are lots of reasons that I can think of. The first one being that it increases student interactivity and engages them in what you're doing. It helps students focus on one thing at a time instead of mass quantities of information. So it makes the information more digestible. It activates students' prior knowledge. It increases student think time. And it's a great way to review and assess for understanding and test your students on things that you've covered in class. At this point, I would encourage you to take some time now to practice this and think about different ways that you could incorporate these 3 different techniques into your own content areas. I'm here to answer any questions you have and help in any way that I can.